pirates,
naked girls, big speakers. It was crazy.
that popped off.
It did. It did pop off.
I was
sold out.
I can sue you, and I will if you carry on.
Yeah, that set us back about, I think, six grand.
They stole all my food, all my beers, all the supplies for the weekend, the decks.
They also took 3 of the 4 packs of baby wipes.
We're here with Jason and Dale, otherwise known as Jason Daz.
Raisin.
Raisin and Daz. Yeah.
Raisin and Daz.
Yeah, Rick Daz.
So we kind of got you on. Just there's nothing really going on at the moment, so we thought we'd get a little podcast going. We actually planned on having you guys in around about this weekend for the actual podcast.
That would have been nice, but I'm glad that we can do something like this anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get you back on when we're actually together.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be good.
So just for the viewers, 'cause it's quite difficult because for me, Rig 51's kind of like an umbrella of loads of different kind of companies, isn't it? Really. So how would you describe Rig 51?
Well, in a short sentence, we were thinking about this earlier, and but we're a small London-based events company, but we specialise in audio and lighting and drinks consultancy.
Yeah.
But that is, like you said, a bit of an umbrella thing where we are more than happy to give this customer service off for anywhere in the hospitality industry. Events industry that we know of.
I think certainly our direction as a company is more into the audio and lighting, and when we can fully push ahead just doing that, maybe drinks consultancy will become the hobby.
Yeah.
But at the moment, drinks consultancy is what kind of makes the money. So
yeah, exactly.
What was like the first piece of equipment that you got?
I think I've always grown up around sort of speakers and sound equipment. Not in like big festival kind of setups, but just kind of people loving their audio. So I've had big speakers since I was a bit.
And your brother had some turbo sounds.
Yeah, we had some turbo sounds, and we actually managed to borrow a really nice amp, which is an MC² amp off him.
Yeah. And
that allowed us to then we got someone to build us 4 speakers to our own design.
Which our first ever speakers that we bought are still the kind of like an iconic Rig 51 part of our sound
the
system.
top ones with the tweeters in, we still use them.
Which is the original kind of Fane crossover way of placing them together. Yeah. There were our first things, that the MC² amp.
The top speakers, if you look at a picture of the rig, it's the 12-inch cones with the bullet tweeter.
I want to hear the story of the Hacienda. What was your first name, and like how did that come about?
I'm not sure we can actually say that for legal reasons.
It is quite a.
It was a bit of a misunderstanding. But we inherited what we thought. Yeah, we were gifted what we thought was quite a big name in the industry,
in the music industry, yeah.
And
we won't name and shame.
It was a well-known Manchester club, one of the first, in fact, if not the first club.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ken's already said it, to be fair.
We won't name and shame the person that kind of gave us the idea. This was our future. Someone
very inspirational.
Someone bought us.
Yeah.
The
rights.
We bought the company name and the rights to it.
But
can you say what company name it was?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Little did they know that they bought the rights to this thing called Hacienda 51 Club Limited. Yet the original copy was Hacienda Fac 51.
Yeah.
So actually, what happened is
to us.
They bought the legal company house documents to almost like a fraudster.
Yeah.
They gave us that name and said, "Hey, you should do something with this. You now have the rights to the name Hacienda."
We actually got a bit stitched up there, but it worked out for the best.
Yeah,
definitely. We did have quite a polite phone call.
Well, yeah. Well, after our first event, which we were like, "This is our debut event." We were very naive, very young. We were working in the drinks industry. I was bar managing in London, and we did this a night called Homage to Hacienda. So that was like our debut night.
Yeah, it was 25 years since it closed.
It all worked out perfectly. And my company thought I owned it. Everyone thought I owned it. Until
it's unbelievable, really.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. In fact, I think one of
it's a little bit unbelievable.
Rumour had it one of the Pet Shop Boys
turned up to it, and Spencer Mac and
Spencer Mac
thinking, Hacienda's, like reborn again, this, that, and the other.
Oh my god.
Then the website that I made for it was quite similar in the branding with the hazard tape and everything.
We thought we were free to continue with the classic, iconic kind of hazard. Cross-hatching.
Was that the 31st of December 2016?
I think so, yeah.
So then on the 3rd of January 2017, 3 days into us going, yes, what a banger. That popped off.
It did. It did pop off.
I was sold out. I was at work,
and
I was I think I was even trying to do a stock take after it. So I was still in the midst of, how did it go? Did we make enough money? And I had this phone call, and politely, it was, "Hello, is this Jason Knowles?" "Yes, who's speaking?" "It's Peter Hook." And we just thought, I gasped, ran upstairs so I wasn't on my phone in a really important phone call. And
do you want to just explain who that is for everyone else who doesn't know?
Peter Hook was the actual, the owner to the rights of Hacienda. He was the bassist in
New Order. Blue Monday.
And Joy Division, and you knew Ian Curtis, etc., etc.
They all started it. It's great for
absolute legends.
24-hour party people.
Absolute
if you've got a
legends.
chance to either read the book or watch the movie, it's well the film.
So he calls me. I understand who it is straight away, and he does politely say to me that, what you're doing is fraud.
Pretty much infringing.
And it's exactly. And I can sue you. And I will if you carry on, but I'm really happy for you to find your own niche within this industry. And if there's anything I can do, then keep my number, and I'm always a phone call away. So it went from very scared to oh my god. At these we're naive, like 19. No,
I think that 20 years gave us quite a lot of motivation, because he could have quite easily actually gone to town on us and squashed us.
Very easily.
But actually, he gave us motivation. Was like, all right, fair enough, but just don't rip off my brand.
Exactly. So that day, I took down the website, changed the branding,
changed everything.
We actually kind of stopped with everything. For a
we,
few months.
We always err the side of caution if we're doing anything with hazard tape at events, just in case. We don't want to.
We've always got a notch.
The toes.
Yeah. But then we took a few months off, didn't we? And we rethought what we are actually going to do, and that's when we bought the speakers. So
nice.
Just before we bought the speakers, we had this idea to reopen the Hacienda, an iconic club from Manchester, and that was a no-no.
That's an insane story.
So then, moving on to sound systems and speaker, and creating this journey and positive energy for partygoers, etc. We wanted to call kind of nod to the Hacienda by calling our brand Rig 51 to nod to the factory.
Sweet. That's really cool. So moving on to kind of present day. Who have you been working with recently? Because I've seen your Instagram and stuff, and it's pretty impressive, guys.
Yeah, we're quite lucky to. I mean, we push to meet these people, but for where we are, some of the handful of people I've loved working with.
We've been really lucky to work with some fairly well-known artists. Especially in the grime scene.
Yeah, in London, the grime scene's huge, especially in East London.
Can you give us any names?
Yeah. And our first big one was
P Money
and
Gigs. That was
that was
massive.
The Where and When video.
It was the biggest one we've done so far.
I think so. Yeah.
Because they gave us the platform to really prove ourselves because they gave us the opportunity to have our logo in their video.
It was such a fun event. We pretty much turned up to Printworks with all of our equipment. We just said, yeah, we'll bring everything we've got. Set up a wall of speakers and turned it on as loud as it would go.
And Printworks, imagine this, Printworks, they've got big sound systems, right? We were only a small one in the car park at the time, but we got told off a lot.
That's insane.
And we kept the scene very happy. The whole grime scene were very happy. But that reached, I don't want to lie, about 2 million in 2 days.
Oh, the Wayne video. I don't know what the numbers are.
I can't remember. I don't want to.
Over a million.
I'm not going to quote that because I think. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was very high, and our logo at the end then reached further.
Yeah.
And it gave us the opportunity to work with more grime artists, such as Miss Bank and DWE, who was one of our most recent ones. He's huge and he was great to work with. And then we've also worked.
A bit of a quiet guy.
Quiet, but his talent is beyond measures.
He was massive.
Yeah, and it's good to watch him in his zone.
We just got some pretty cool Insta content actually on his page as well. It's big picture says Rig 51 right behind it, like a headshot DWE.
That was good.
That's quite sweet.
Other than the grime, you've also got kind of dub. So we've been working with Dub Effects. That was last year. And that was wicked because I'm a massive beatbox fan. I've been a fan of Dub FX for years and years.
I used to love Dub FX.
And to walk into his area and go to a penthouse to record a beatboxing session, I was in awe. And then to actually speak to him and him to teach me some. Honestly, I was starstruck a little bit.
We were I think we were 7 or 8 floors up.
It was at my old house
looking over South London, and we just got to take up sort of a mini half stack of speakers set up on the rooftop balcony. To see Canary Wharf and centre of London in the background. It was amazing. It was awesome.
And
that was a sweet view.
It was a good view.
Was that your flat? I didn't realise that was your
so I used to live
place.
there. So little did I know that Dub FX lived 2 floors above the flat that me and Ollie Owen used to live in.
When
they said after the location is at Courtney House.
Hang on, that is good.
And I said, okay, wow, the penthouse up there. That's funny. I've been to a house party up there. Is the guy's name? And I said his name, and they were like, yeah. Do you know him? I was like, yeah. Walked in front door, and he went, Jace, how you doing?
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, right. I'm doing a music video up here today. Just seeing you the first time in 5 years.
It's mad when that happens in London.
Yeah, it was so weird. Really good day.
As well, then halfway through that shoot, P Money turned up.
Which wasn't connected. He was like, oh my god. It's the same rig.
Someone just got hold of him. We'd actually popped out for some lunch, and he came up, and apparently he's like, "Oh, that's pretty distinctive, isn't it? Like, where the boys at?" We were like, "Oh, get on."
We always got there is a link between.
So the kind of the next thing I want to talk about is when you supplied your sound system to Boomtown, and I kind of wanted to hear how that came about, and also working with the Inconvenience Store boys and that sort of. And if you've got any good stories from working with them?
I mean, we've got lots of good stories. We said if they do ask us about any stories of Boomtown, that they should probably ask anyone of the old town actors and say
the production crew
what happened on Tech Boy Tuesday. And I don't really want to go much further than that.
I think they'll be able to tell you.
What?
We were mostly centred up in the main district of Old Town, and we got a bit carried away on one of the Tuesday nights.
Well,
we'd already set everything up, so it was all right.
We were known as Tech Boys, right? Because we were doing the tech for this micro venue, which was, and they were calling us Tech Boys. And then on Tuesday, we got a bit carried away that night, even though we had a big day the next day. And I really can't go into too much detail.
I don't know if we can or not.
No, we can't.
Okay.
But it's
basically, Boomtown is like a never-ending story, and every time you go there, you're picking up from where you left off.
But that night turned out with a load of pirates looking after me and Scott, especially.
Roulette wheels, naked girls, big speakers. it was crazy.
Yeah.
So we should be actually. I'm not sure if I told you this yet, but we've actually
should be going.
Going and sorting the press out this year.
Yeah,
so,
amazing. Yeah,
we promised to do a podcast from the event as well. So
awesome.
we're definitely getting on that.
One of the funny ones, we did our own festival once. Kane, you came to it.
I've actually got that written down. That I'm going to ask you about. It's literally the next question.
Obviously, it was like a really small one. It was for us to really just understand our extent of how far we can go as two people. This is like a two-man job. This is so we haven't got a team below us. We just wanted to push our boundaries.
Push the limits on how the scale of event we could actually pull off like from scratch. So finding the location, all the equipment,
speakers, lights, sound, artists. Making sure people
everything with permission.
Camping, parking, everything.
Yeah.
And it was a bloody wet night.
We gave ourselves.
So it was meant to be around. We're probably going to look after about 200 people, but I reckon the maximum that came was about 80.
Yeah, I think about 80.
Maybe
it felt like a lot more.
Okay, that's good.
I gotta say,
yeah, but we were watching, and I think it was maximum 80, but we were looking for about 200. The weather was terrible.
Yeah.
But on the way down, we had one weekend. So again, we were trying to set this up in 2 days.
I remember it so well because we were working together at the same point.
We planned it for a long time,
months,
but we wanted to set it up in 2 days and get down there on our weekend off.
Yeah, we'd obviously done some groundwork. We'd set up kind of where the stage is going to go, where the speakers are going to go, and then we gave ourselves 3 days to actually drive down there with the equipment and set everything up. So we're happy with it. 3 days just to set up.
But we had my van, and we didn't have a big sound system at the time, so we had all of the speakers in my van. And they filled it big time.
Yeah, the van was full. Yeah.
My van's a bit temperamental, and the engine blew up on the fast lane.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna ask you about this as well. So obviously that party was incredible. We had because I was working with you at that same point, and I think that I covered your shift up until 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
and then I literally I think it was about 6, and then I left, and I literally drove straight to Devon. It was about a 4-hour drive. Got there, and it was just like way bigger than you could tell it. It was huge. Like
wicked.
The setup was insane.
Thank you.
But just like seeing and like me on my phone at work, thinking like. And then seeing that you've broken down, thinking like, "Oh shit, this is
it was a nightmare." So if I didn't have Daz with me, my van would have actually blown. Dale knows a little bit about what to do in these kind of situations.
I failed mechanics when I was 17, so I do know a little bit.
So I was on the fast lane, and suddenly my accelerator, my revs went all the way up to the top into the red zone, and I was coming up this little
I can't remember what there's a term for it, but it's when there's too much oil in the engine and the oil gets sucked into the turbo, and then the engine starts running itself.
Yeah.
So if you turn it off, it just carries on.
So I turned it off, and I was still revving towards this little bloody Fiat. I can't remember. So I had to pull into the hard shoulder, swerving through the lanes, and I could see oil spitting out my bonnet. And
a cloud of smoke.
We got out,
it was mental.
And opened up the bonnet, and that was absolutely
it exploded.
Exploded with oil.
The whole engine just like.
But what we took from that was you got to break down when you break down.
Yeah.
So we took the decks and the speakers out, and we had a little M25 party.
Set up on the side.
Yeah.
Honestly, that put us back by about 12 hours.
Been going for what, like a few years now, but you've just hit so many kind of bumps in the road.
Yeah.
You've just overcome them in such like a cool rock and roll fashion. Breaking down on the side of the road, going towards your first self-made mini festival.
Yeah.
And then what do you decide to do?
Carry on.
Get all your equipment out.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How did that come
about? Got to get it out. Got to have a little mix.
Did you get any bad looks, dodgy looks from?
We got loads.
So you basically just got your decks out.
We got the speakers out. Put the decks on them, and then
But what was
and then did a motorway set.
It was crazy.
Going from that and having that kind of upset, and then it just felt like you're always kind of hitting these bumps in the road, but you just seem to smash over them every time. The last kind of big thing, if if I'm right, is your van got broken into.
Yeah, so this was...
tell us about that.
Again, I think we're very unlucky with the timing that these can come in, because we had the breakdown, which was, crucial to us putting on a festival.
Day before big event.
And then we had the break-in of the van, which I never ever put my equipment in my van. But what happened is we were going to set off for Boomtown the next day, and we needed to load absolutely everything into 2 vans.
Yeah.
So Dale's van was loaded completely. With
I had basically all of the equipment in my van ready to go.
It was actually, I mean, the only thing I had was the most expensive stuff we had.
Yeah, which is the
decks.
Yeah.
So obviously this was actually one night before Boomtown. And so we loaded the vans at 11 p.m. and I was going to set off in the morning at 6 a.m. So I was only leaving it for about 7 hours outside my house in London. But I believe people were probably watching me when I was loading the decks, because they usually kept in my house.
Yeah.
Someone must have seen you putting in there, man.
Jason's van has like it's a big Mercedes Sprinter.
Don't say to people how to break into a Mercedes.
Alright.
It's very easy to break into a Mercedes without the alarm going off, but it's actually probably not something I would say, because it's too easy.
Yeah.
Like, if you know, after I've seen
considering he's still got the van.
Yeah. When I saw how they got in, it popped out a window, but popping it out is one thing, but knowing which window to pop out is the other. Then you can unlock the door and you can get in. And I didn't realise that Mercedes wouldn't off.
Yeah, that set us back about, I think, six grand.
Yes, so 6 grand stolen.
For a small company,
as well. They stole all my food, all my beers, all the supplies for the weekend, the decks.
Yeah, because Jason had the supplies.
A couple of my lights.
Jason had supplies.
And even my high vises, which I bought just before Boomtown, that said Rig 51 on them.
High vis.
And they left one.
We'll look out for that then.
3 of us.
They also took 3 of the 4 packs of baby wipes.
Yeah.
And they took a year's worth of saved up tobacco from various pouches and combined together for this one road trip. And obviously for this festival, and they bloody nick it.
Yeah, so I wake up at 6. I go to put. Thankfully, I didn't put my clothes in the van that night. But I went and put my bag in the van, and I saw that the window was on the ground, and my heart sunk, and I went straight to the boot, and I just was like, "Fucking oh my god, they've got it, they've done it, yeah." So went inside, and I probably cried my eyes out to Chloe for about half an hour, and then went, right, ring Dad, tell him what's happened, let's fucking crack on. And rang you couldn't believe me to start with. Obviously couldn't believe me. And then we just thought, right, we've got Boomtown to do.
I mean, at the end of the day, those decks were a massive bit of equipment for us.
Well, they were
in the industry, a set of decks is standard expected. So we knew, if we just crack on and get to Boomtown, there's going to be some spare decks there. We're going to be able to sort something out.
Yeah.
So we just had to
It was a bit of a hassle, because we did have to get hold of a few people. This, that, and the other. But again, when you don't have something, we always find we know someone, we can sort stuff out, and that's the mentality we went in with for Boomtown.
We ended up actually having
let's not think about this. We will maybe laugh about it in the future, and we're not laughing yet.
Sorry,
but we just had to crack on, because we had a job to do, and it was probably one of the best jobs we've ever done.
Yeah, it ended up being awesome. Boomtown was great.
2 stages with no decks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not too bad in the short run, it seemed like, but like for decks, for a small company like you, I suppose that's a real pain in the arse losing something like that.
We saved up to get them. We got them on finance. We were just finishing paying that off. They got stolen, and then we had to pay that off, and then we had to get more decks, which set us back another,
I also don't think. I just want everyone to know we had 3 different kinds of insurance on those decks.
Oh yeah,
and for one reason or another, all 3
didn't cover it.
No, because I don't have content insurance in my van, but I do have insurance in our unit. And we have insurance at Boomtown, so we made sure we had insurance everywhere. Obviously, these ones we have now are solely insured by for deck rentals. So they're completely covered if they get stolen. But we we were a very small company, and we can't afford insurance for everything we have. So we have to keep it in places where it is insured.
I think it put us back by about 6 months.
Oh, massive! Yeah, it was big. It was real big for us. Yeah,
considerably like free.
Sad times, but yeah, we got a new one.
Well, let's move on to something positive. Like, what have you been listening to recently to keep you going through the lockdown?
I mean, since isolation has started, I am really into dub. I'm getting my dub mixes in at the moment. Drum and bass is our soul.
We definitely when we're doing events, we tend to focus a lot more either on grime or drum and bass. It's definitely the kind of events we cater for. We have done the odd dub thing here and there, but we really want to bring together the two aspects of like having a pro audio system, which is like professional sound. When you think of people like Function One, Void, people like that, you think, oh, that's obviously professional. We want people to think mix that. But we've come from the kind of sound culture background where
not free party, but sound system culture. People like Channel One Sound System, they've been going 40 years with Roots dub. People like Sinai, Iration Steppers.
We really want to get into that scene a bit more now and show them.
Masai Warrior. So we've got idols of sound systems.
I think if we're going to want to be known, if we want to get known, we're going to have to get known in that.
So I've been practicing dub at the moment. I'm absolutely loving it. Downloading, new tunes from Bandcamp that I haven't really gotten into before. But now listening to it on a good sound system is incredible. Like, dub is made for sound system culture, ghetto sound systems. Yeah.
So you're going to try and get to Carnival maybe one year?
Oh, what, Notting Hill?
Yeah.
So Notting Hill, awesome. Yes. But we know a couple people, Sam that we met the other day from Ray Gambino, and we're trying. You need to know someone. You need to be in the know, and that's been going for so many years that we're new. We're not even. We're not. We
try and make sure that every time we set up, you're licensed or you got permission for it.
On carnivals, we have done some pools though. In Bristol, and that was incredible. We did a dub set and a drum and bass set there, and that was a really, really good experience for a carnival, for a first carnival. I'd love to go to Notting Hill one day. Yeah.
So we kind of got a last few kind of like funny questions for you guys. If you both had to choose your favourite album in the world to take on a desert island with you, so we're kind of doing a desert island disc, but a bit of a harsher one.
If it's an album, I'd probably go, if I'm going to be on a desert island, I'm going to have to go Bob Marley, his greatest hits, Legends, Straight up, it's the only thing that'll keep me going.
If I was going to pick, if I had to pick one album, I mean, the first one...
You're with me, by the way, so you can have Bob Marley as well.
Yeah. We get 2 discs, obviously. We've got 2 discs. Discs, it's cool. But, so, the Queen, A Night at the Opera was my first ever album. Tired of listening to that eventually. I don't want to offend anyone here, like, obviously.
That'd be tricky.
Yeah.
So maybe a bit of classical.
I've got Queen up on the wall behind me.
Maybe a bit of classical music or something you're going to constantly be able to listen to without going insane.
Yeah.
Or maybe you would. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, Bob Marley for sure. You can't. You've got.
Yeah.
You've got.
You can't really get sick of that.
You're on a desert island. Come on.
Yeah.
Coconuts and like fishing. It'd be lovely.
You just got your coconuts.
Fishing, yeah.
So another one we got written down is a little bit of a tricky one. But have you got any guilty pleasures, like songs that I love? That I kind of want to ask each other, because you live together, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to ask. So Daz, what is Jason's guilty? Like, what have you caught him listening to? That you kind of think. I think you can answer that for each other.
I can answer Dale's, and it's what's the artist? It's called Money.
Oh, Money by Lakeley.
By Lakeley.
I got Money.
I actually, it's really catchy, but it's definitely a guilty pleasure because if you play that on our rig.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I think most of the time
we listen to really good music, so we're not guilty about it.
We actually tend to listen to a lot of like the artists who we've collaborated with.
Yeah.
And people that we're going to work with as well to try and get some new music.
Yeah, there's guilty pleasure for me then.
And also like a better understanding of who we're working with.
So we worked with a brilliant artist called I Am Aisha.
Oh yeah.
And she's just had a video come out, and she worked with a artist called King Promise. Now, I didn't know either of these people.
No.
However, that tune is good, and I really like it, and it's not something I usually be into. So it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. But then also King Promise, his stuff I really would not put on in front of anyone.
But he loves it.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So So it's really catchy. Yeah. It's really pop African, and it's good vibes all round.
Sort of carnival vibe.
Yeah, and but with this kind of like cheesy, I got money.
Jace can't get away with listening to carnival music. Obvious reasons.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so they're kind of guilty pleasure songs.
Sweet.
Maybe 90s pop punk for me.
Yeah, no one likes Dale listening to that.
Yeah, everyone gets annoyed. I can't understand why.
Yeah, but no, the thing is, there's 90s pop punk that everyone knows and everyone likes, and then there's 90s pop punk that Dale likes. And it's all the tunes from Blink-182 that are catchy.
Yeah.
We
used to listen to the catchy ones closing
I
the party.
was just gonna say.
Yeah, great. Right?
It's like nip this in the bud right now. Right? I've got a Blink-182 90s tattoo.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, get out.
Leave it there.
Yeah, and
let's have a look.
Eminem.
If anyone's interested,
I shouldn't be into him anymore.
I want to see it. I want to see it, Dad. Show it to the camera.
Oh, God.
My first album.
It's the wrong way to show you, really.
Was the Eminem Show? So I'm. Yeah. Can you get that in?
Can you see that?
Can you see it on the other camera?
Yeah, get it on the good camera.
You might be able to.
Stand up on the chair, Dad.
I was having a mix before you rang. So if I don't lose my balance,
there we are.
It's the Loser Kids Bunny.
Lovely.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge, as he likes to be known, started a forum online back in the 90s when that was a cool thing to do. And that was the logo for it, and also the website, and they saw clothes.
There we are.
That's pretty cool.
Sweet.
The kind of final question we've got for you is, have you got any advice for anyone kind of starting up their own equipment hire company or rig?
Yeah. I think in any industry, if you're a startup company that's small, have a plan and an idol or something. Because we didn't have a plan. A dream. We only thought about where we want to be maybe last year. Yeah. It was all a hobby to start. I think because it was a hobby, if you're passionate about it,
it's expensive.
We did things in probably the wrong way. Yeah. But we learned a lot.
Also, we've been able to live together and work together.
Yeah. Almost
24/7 for like the last 4 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have more arguments.
Yeah. So as a startup thing, I always think have a goal. Because we've only just realised our goal, and it's that we really want to be an international sound system that travels around the world and takes sound system culture to the next level. Yeah. Without being, a mass producer of speakers, because we're not into that. We're into the more the service and the hospitality. Yeah. So have a goal and don't stop until you get there, because I'm not stopping until we get there. Yeah. So and then also maybe have like an idol of someone that's done something like this before you. And seek to be not copy them, but as passionate as they were when they started. I think just try and get to know people in the scene. Try and get your fingers into whatever you're doing. Yeah, networking without showing you're in a bastard too much. Yeah. Not using people, but actually befriending people. For the reason of learning and knowledge and sharing experiences. So that when they share their experiences with you, you learn something from it as well. To be honest, it would actually be pretty good if anyone's got some advice for us, rather than us giving advice to other people. Yeah. So there we are.
Sweet. We got one last thing though, Kane.
Yeah. Do you want to? I was waiting for you.
You do it. You go for it, mate.
So this is something that we're going to ask everyone. The same 3 questions. We're going to ask everyone. So I didn't let you know this before, so it's a bit of on the spot one.
That's all right.
Right.
You're not going to have a panic attack, don't worry.
Yeah.
So, Dale, we'll ask you first. we'll ask you first, Dale. You've got to choose one spirit. Oh, sorry, you're going on a night out, and you've got to choose one spirit, one city, and one bar.
Should we
so
not answer each other's? Because I reckon I could guess his.
Oh yeah, go on. See if you can get.
It's fine. No, you
do that.
Sorry, keep it in the way that you know.
What was it? One spirit, one city,
one bar
and one bar to end up in. But the city bar don't have.
One bar.
So one bar.
The bar doesn't have to be in that city.
So, but if Jace, you are correct, you've got to let us know as well.
Wait. I've got three things in my head.
I know what Jace thinks I would go for.
Stop that. Just tell us what you'd go for, mate.
One spirit. That's difficult, but I mean, definitely it has to be whiskey.
Okay, so I got that one right.
It has to be whiskey, obviously.
Any particular whiskey?
No, but that's the thing. There's so much whiskey.
I can pick any whiskey I want.
So not even bourbon or scotch or
everything. I just want whiskey.
It falls under the category of whiskey.
Okay.
Then one city. I mean, come on. It's got to be London. I
thought he was going to say Bruges. It was good.
Yeah, Bruges.
But London.
I go like maybe New York or Singapore. But no, I think the reason I live here is I would choose this city. Otherwise, I'd be living in another city.
Yeah. You are English,
so it's got to be London. And definitely my favourite bar, this is what Jace would have said, is going to be Oriole.
Okay.
Yeah, which is it's the kind of speakeasy, but super high standards, really easygoing, not pretentious, but like.
Where's that?
It's underground Smithfield Meat Market.
Farringdon.
Yeah, all the bartenders there are proper decent.
They're amazing. It's connected to the Nightjar, so you've got that serious, top quality bartending. But Oriole's got a bit more of a loungy, more space kind of vibe. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really
nice.
Well,
and you, Jace?
Good for me.
I'm whiskey through and through.
I think I could guess the bar actually.
The bar, maybe. Yeah. For city. If it wasn't going to be London, I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick LA.
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Is that the letters?
Yeah.
When I went there to see my friend Jez, I thought how lucky you'd be to be an American where West America, where you've got your sun, you've got your skate parks, you've got your basketball courts in every, expensive to live there.
Fucking Carol Baskin.
Yeah. No, but it's just absolute gorgeous city. So I definitely want to live there. And the bar would be Sketch.
Obviously.
Sketch is my favourite bar in London because they've got 4 bars inside, so that obviously you can go in and you've got your kind of your diner vibe, you've got your kind of forest vibe, your more modern vibe, and then you can walk in between each bar and you feel like you're in a different bar, yet you haven't gone outside. So it's like a really nice one where you can spend your whole night there.
It's a really good abstract, atmosphere. New thought out way of kind of presenting a high class.
And the cocktails are different in each bar, so it's not like you're going to get. There's always a higher chance that you're going to have a good bartender somewhere, even though their cocktails I wouldn't say are the best. I know that I'm going to have a good service somewhere, in one of them at least. But they're a Michelin star restaurant inside as well. But I haven't been there.
There's 3, but 3
Michelin star. Yeah, right, they just pop them off these days.
Wow.
So there's one final thing that I wanted to mention as well, which I forgot to write down. But you've also selling some merch at the moment, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
So can you show us? Because you're obviously wearing them as well. So
when are we not? We've just got an array of colours in our drawer.
So how can people get it as well?
You can get it by. We took it off our website actually.
Yeah,
it's more of a kind. We're giving them out more than anything. If you're at an event of ours, so we do events in Loughborough. At Kinematic, one of our friends Tom Adams and Arthur's event, and we give out T-shirts there for people
they are for sale. If you send us a message on Instagram or Facebook,
yeah,
then we'll get it. Or email like info@rig51.
I just need to update the website with the new T-shirts.
Generally,
so I take it off for a bit.
Generally, we're always doing some kind of event or draw where we're like do something and we'll give a T-shirt away.
Yeah.
For getting the best picture or whatever.
Yeah. But our favourite, like,
just follow the
merch is,
you know,
obviously we're not a huge brand, so people don't want to buy us unless they know us or seen us.
Yeah.
So giving it away at events kind of gives that kind of, that vibe of, we give as much as we can.
Yeah.
Whilst if you can come to one of our events, that's just a complete respect all round.
It's a good way to expand the brand.
Yeah. It's just to say, thanks for coming to the event. Here's a free T-shirt, and just a little something
pretty
from
nice
us.
as well. To be honest. And we usually get a few T-shirts for ourselves. Yeah. And it's basically ended up being just our wardrobe.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually think that's mine and this is Jason's T-shirt. But
oh yeah.
We don't actually know anymore. So.
We'll send you some Scumfiles T-shirts.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So after this podcast, let's do a swap. So you send us 2 Scumfiles.
Yeah, we need to. We're getting ours sorted soon.
Nice.
As soon as this is all done, we're gonna. So what James is wearing now is going to be our T-shirts.
Decent.
That's going to be available soon. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a swap then after this. It'd be nice.
Nice one, like football players.
Yeah, exactly.
Should do it at the end of the podcast, take them off.
Yeah, pass it to the camera.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for coming on, guys. It's been awesome.
One in isolation.
Yeah, awesome.
Alright, thank you so much for coming in, guys. See you later.